So as we just learned in the last video, if we divide by something of the form x minus c, we can do our polynomial divisions synthetically. And it's a really fast way to come up with an answer compared to all that crazy long division. So let's practice that using some examples. So here it's pretty clear, right? We have x minus 1, so our c is equal to 1. So I'm going to write that little 1 in a box and then list all my coefficients outside the box. And then we just start adding. 1 and 0 is 1. If we're below the line, we multiply. So 1 times 1 is 1, and we bring it up. Negative 3 plus 1 is negative 2. 1 times a negative 2 is negative 2, and add. And we're done. That is basically a remainder. And since I divided a second degree by a first degree, you're basically looking at a degree 1 polynomial here. So our answer is x minus 2 plus 2 all over x minus 1. So I've got my quotient and my remainder and what I divided by. And there's basically our answer via the synthetic division process. Of course, you can check that by doing the long division process. But if you're crazy enough to do it, knock yourself out. Okay? In the next one, we have x plus 1. Well, that rewritten is x minus a negative 1. So our c in this case is negative 1. So I'm going to write that in a little box. And then outside the little box, I'm going to start listing my coefficients. So we got 1, negative 2, 3, and negative 4. And then we just start doing the process. So we'll bring the 1 down. Negative 1 times 1 is a negative 1. I bring it up. We add, get negative 3. Negative 1 times negative 3 is positive 3. We add, getting 6. Negative 1 times 6 is negative 6. We add. There's your remainder. We divided a third degree by a 1 degree. So what we're looking at here is a degree 2 polynomial. So our answer here is x squared minus 3x plus 6 plus my remainder over what we divided by. And so there's our answer for that division with regard to synthetic division. So we have our quotient, and we have our remainder, and what I divided by in the beginning. So hopefully you're getting the hang of it. So in this next one, we have x minus 2, so clearly c is 2. So I'm going to write 2 in a little box, and then list your coefficients. So the coefficient of x cubed is 2. There is no x squared coefficient if we go in descending order, so it's 0. The coefficient of x is negative 4. And then that constant is 1. So there's our coefficients, and then we just start knocking things down. So bring the 2 down. 2 times 2 is 4. Adding, we get 4. 2 times 4 is 8. Adding, we get 4. 2 times 4 is 8. Adding, we get 9. So I think I did that right. And there's our remainder. We took a third degree and divided it by a first degree. So again, you're looking at a quadratic right there. So our answer is 2x squared plus 4x plus 4 plus my remainder over what I divided by in the first place. So there you have it. So hopefully, again, it's just a process that beats the heck out of that long division. So x plus 3, well, that's x minus a negative 3. So our c value here is negative 3. So I'm going to write that in a little box, listing my coefficients. It looks like we have a fourth degree, a third degree, a second degree, a first degree, and a 0 degree. And we just start going through the process. So bring the 1 down, multiply, bring it up. Add, multiply, add, multiply, add, and multiply. And so we get negative, that's a 36. And we get, what is that, 627. And so there's our remainder. I think I did all my additions right. Yeah. And so let me make sure. Yeah. 3. You know what? I think I did this one wrong. Negative 3 and 3. That's a negative 9. I knew something was wrong there. So it's a negative 1. Negative 3 and a negative 1 is a 3. Positive 3. So that becomes a negative 3, and a negative times a negative is a positive, giving us 0. Alright? So, sorry about that. And so, just be careful, I just lost my rhythm there. And so, we took a fourth degree and divided it by a first degree. So, what we're looking at here is a degree 3 polynomial. and the remainder happens to be 0. And again, there's something special happening here, but our answer right now is x to the third plus 3x squared minus x minus 3, and if you wanted to, plus 0 over x plus 3. Of course, that's just 0 anyways. So it's all quotient in this regard, and again, I apologize for not dividing right, but there you have it. Okay, so our synthetic division. We can even do fractions. In this case, my x minus c, I've got half, so c is equal to 1/2. So I'm going to put my 1/2 in a little box and then list my coefficients. So my degree 4 is a 2, my degree 3 is a 3, my degree 2 is non-existent, so it's 0, degree 1 is -1, and then we have a 0. So again, accounting for degree 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0, and then we start going through our process. So bring the 2 down, half of 2 is 1, bring it up, 3 and 1 is 4, half of 4 is 2, adding we get 2, half of 2 is 1, adding we get 0, has 0 and 0. So there's our remainder, and since I took a 4 degree and divided it by a first degree, what you're looking at there is degree 3. And so we have this is equal to 2x to the third plus 4x squared plus 2x, right? And then there is no remainder. So there's basically our answer there. And again, having a remainder of 0 is pretty important, and I'll address that coming soon, right, in some videos. But right now, we're just focusing on that synthetic division. Last one, we have x minus 2/3. So in this case, my c is 2/3. I write that in my little box, list my coefficient. So the degree 3 coefficient is 3, and then 10, and then 4, and then -8, right? 3, 2, 1, 0. So drop the 3 down, we get that. 2/3 times 3 is 2, bring it up. 10 and 2 is 12. 2/3, that's 24 over 3, which is 8. 4 and 8 is 12. 2 times 12 is 24, divided by 3 is an 8, and we get a 0 again. So our remainder is 0. We divided a third degree by a first degree, so this is basically degree 2. So we get 3x squared plus 12x plus 12, and then plus that remainder, which doesn't really add anything to it. So again, there is something kind of special about the fact that we keep getting zeros down in those as a remainder, but hopefully that was a good review of the skill, or maybe you relearned the skill for the first time of synthetically dividing. So rather than performing these divisions the long way, right, we create a synthetic division pattern, and then just make sure we can read the pattern. The way we read that again is look at your power that you divided by, and that'll tell you the degree that you have. So if we're dividing a third degree by a first degree, our quotient should be a degree 2, right? If we're dividing a fourth degree by a first degree, our quotient should be degree 3, and you see that happening a couple times. All right, so we're getting slowly closer to being able to find some zeros. We're developing the skills. One more video of theory, and then we'll truly be ready. See you guys then.